Just got through with the 4-mile run. Now we on the walk down this Money Monday. Money Monday, guys. A lot going on, a lot of questions are being asked, a lot of things to talk about, bro. A lot. Question is, what do you think about Charlie Kirk? Well, first of all, I came across Charlie Kirk on account of the work that he put in, you know, talking to the kids, to his target audience. We all know who his target audience is, right? So what do I think about Charlie Kirk? I think Charlie Kirk is a builder. I'm all for building. See, they want us, this live is gonna go all type of directions, but they want us to think about other things, old things that are not in our control. They want us to hover on that. They don't want us to really think about the really things that's really at hand. My thoughts is that the guy been building since he was 18 years old, probably before then. But he started the Turning Point, whatever the name of it, I think it's Turning Point. He started that organization when he was 18 years old. He started that without knowing anything, right? It's about building, guys. That's what we have to start thinking about, building. We can't think about the things that are out of our control or the things that didn't happen in the past. We can't think about bullshit and bubblegum. We got to focus on building, right? We have to focus on building. And that's my thoughts on Charlie Kirk. No matter, we're not going to agree with everybody does, but we all can agree that Charlie Kirk was a builder, right? He built that organization. He built his business. He built and became some of himself, right? A family structure. He's married, 2 kids. He's married to the person that he had kids with, right? So that's what I think about Charlie Kirk. He's basically doing what a lot of people in this country, specifically a group of people, are not doing, right? He's building. He got a foundation of his family, right? And he got his kids by the same person, and they're building together. So that's my thoughts of Charlie Kirk, right? And he was trying to reach kids. He was trying to teach kids, that basic foundation of the basic American, which is get married, get a good career, hopefully you can have all your kids by that one person who you marry, and to build your family structure, because that's where it starts at, right there. That's your family foundation. You, your education, who you marry, and your kids. That's your family foundation of structure. No matter what we think about Charlie Kirk, no matter what he said, guess what? That's what he did. And his target was kids, right? Like college kids, to try to teach them some type of foundation or whatever it is that he believe in. And whatever the kids and whatever those young adults, if they agree with him, hey, they bought into the program and he built something. See, that's what we have to realize, guys. Building. That's the one thing that a lot of people are not talking about. They're not talking about building. They're not talking about building. They're not talking about whoever you get pregnant, stay with them, marry them, work it out, get out of your feelings and work it out with the understanding that, hey, we had this kid, we're going to stay together to build a better foundation of, to our kids. That's what we got to get. That's what we have to understand in this country, guys. That's what we have to understand, is that having 4 or 5 different kids, 4 or 5 different baby daddies. Man, like that's division. See, a lot of times, that's why I love that movie, The Art of War, right? It's divide and conquer. So if you as a guy and you as a female, you have a kid with somebody, if y'all not getting along, if y'all separated, that is dividing. That's one of the main rules of Art of War, divide and conquer. Break up the family structure, divide and conquer. You know, that's what we have to get back to. We have to get back to good family structures. YouTube family, I mean not YouTube, get back to family structures. Yes, 93% of people are talking about Charlie Kirk because it is a lesson behind the story. It is a lesson, right? This is the time to understand the message, right? This is the time to get serious about what's going on. That's what this time is for. This time is not to say somebody was pushing hate, or somebody, this is not the time for that, guys. It's the time to evaluate your own specific situation, right? And understand that Charlie was a builder. He started building that when he was 18 years old, guys. And look what he built it to. That's what I love about America. Long as you can stay focused on what you're supposed to be focusing on, right? And focus on those 3 things that I just got through talking about. Building, right? You can do anything you want to do, logically, in the United States of America. That's what is so great about America. What we can't do, this is very important, we can't let nobody infiltrate our mind with negative, specifically old negative ways of thinking, right? For instance, everybody's talking about, a certain type of people are talking about that the guy was racist and all this, that, and the third. Guys, what we have to remember, nobody's talking about what NBA Youngboy and these rappers are doing. They're not talking about how NBA Youngboy has more of an influence and more of a power and talk more negative. All he talk about is killing, murder, dope, guns. You know what I'm saying? Downgrading women. That's all these rappers do, right? You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. Nobody's talking about that they need to be silenced. Nobody's talking about that those rappers that's basically speaking negativity on our kids, nobody's talking about them. Everybody's talking about Charlie Kirk and what supposedly he's doing. But bro, if you think about it, the rappers, what we listen to every single day, what we see, what our kids go to, NBA Youngboy right now is on a United States of America concert tour. That's what NBA Youngboy is on right now. And what is he doing when he's on the stage? He's talking murder. He's talking kill. He's talking drugs. He's talking about prostituting. He's talking about all the negative things that we're not supposed to be, kids are not supposed to be listening to. He's not saying anything positive on that stage. And he's going around every single city in every state right now, speaking murder, speaking kill, right? And guess what? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about what NBA Youngboy, I'm using him in this example because he's on a tour right now in every city around this country, right? Some states, he's doing multiple concerts. And what is he doing? Type up NBA Youngboy right now, guys, and go look and listen to what he's doing at that concert. But they have which is crazy to me. They don't want to talk about that, right? They don't want to talk about the lyrics of these rappers. They don't want to talk about that. Instead, they want to talk about Charlie Kirk, who was basically going to these colleges, not talking about killing nobody, not talking about murder. All he's doing was talking about the things that he believed in and talking to kids, teaching kids, hey, if you have a child with somebody, do everything in your power to be with that woman, right? Get out of your feelings. If you man enough to get a girl pregnant, then you are man enough to get out of your feelings and make it work out. So you will have a 2-parent home. And then get your education. Make some of yourself. Earn, spend less, and make proper investments. And raise your kids. They're not preaching. He wasn't preaching have babies by all these different baby mamas like these rappers. None of these rappers, guys, are telling anybody to go to school, get an education, right? Stick with your baby mama. Stop having all these kids by all these different women. Nobody's telling none of these rappers, and these rappers ain't telling none of these kids that. Everybody that's talking bad about Charlie Kirk right now, they are not holding the rappers accountable. They are not using their platforms to tell these kids, stop having all these kids by different baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? They're not telling these kids, stop talking about murder in all your music. They're not talking about that, guys. Ain't that kind of funny? Just think about that. That's kind of funny that those people are talking bad about Charlie Kirk, but they're not talking about NBA YoungBoy. They're not talking about Lil Durk. They're not talking about all these criminals that's don't get it all these criminals in the community that has influence over kids that are basically preaching Pookie and Ray Ray narratives. That's basically what they're doing. I've been thinking about this. Why they're talking about Charlie Kirk, but they're not talking about these rappers. They're not talking about the NBA young boys. They are not holding them accountable. They trying to throw all the blame on Charlie Kirk while NBA young boy is going around the whole country doing whatever it is he doing. Come on, guys, we gotta think. We gotta think. So, in my opinion, they want these rappers. They better not go against those rappers, guys. We know that already. Why? Because those rappers are the ones that are pulling in the votes for a certain type of people. The rappers are the ones pulling in the votes. Without those rappers, right? Without the rappers, they won't have anybody to push what they're trying to push. They won't, guys. Because just think about it. You could go to any one of these platforms on the internet. What they're doing right now is they're attacking Charlie Kirk, bro. They're attacking Charlie Kirk. They're attacking that man, which all that man was doing was talking to his people, trying to educate his people, trying to tell his people what not to be and what to be. You don't hear none of these rappers trying to educate nobody, bro. You don't hear none of these rappers trying to educate and trying to tell these kids, man, stop having babies with all these different women. Stop killing one another. Stop calling these girls out of their name. Stop treating them like they're hoes and sluts. Carry yourself a certain type of way. Stop having your pants sagging. Pull your pants up. Go to school. Learn something in life. Get an education. You know what I'm saying? Build self-morality. None of those rappers, none of them are saying anything like that. And matter of fact, none of them, hardly any of them, are going to any one of these HBCUs and having a conversation with them. One dummy that went to the HBCU to try to talk to the kids, guess what happened? He got ran out of the HBCU. Some of y'all probably know who I'm talking about. He's supposed to be so-called, an influencer. He goes to the HBCU and he could not answer any of the questions that the youngsters have. He gets mad and runs off of the campus and call young kids that are in college broke. Now, nobody said anything about that, guys. All they did was make fun of that. A HBCU is a historically black college and university. It's mostly blacks go to HBCUs. It's the HBCU stands for Historic Black Universities and Colleges. That's what a HBCU is. But back to the subject. But nobody held him accountable. Everybody did what? Everybody talked about it, laughed about it, thought it was funny, played it over and over and over and over and over again. Meanwhile, we are getting further behind because we are consuming too much negative content, right? We are worrying about content. Charlie Kirk them is focused on building. See, it's a difference, guys. It's a difference. Charlie Kirk them is focusing on building something, a foundation that you can build on for your kids and your family and your community. Meanwhile, the other community is focusing on negative content. See the difference? It's a difference. You know, that's the difference. You know, so we have to check ourselves, guys. We have to check ourselves. We got to look inside of us and figure out what we want. Okay? If you got that energy for Charlie Kirk, where's the energy for NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk? Who else can I name? Young Thug, right? Where's your energy for them? The ones that are really destroying. The ones that are really, is that systematic? You know they're talking about systematic racism. Is it a such thing of systematic racism on your own community? I said it. Is it a such thing of systematic racism on your own self? Because guess what, guys? All these people that are talking bad about Charlie Kirk, all they care about is money. That's it. All they care about is money. Do you think that those rappers gonna stop talking how they talk? You think they gonna stop rapping how they rap, bro? Think about that for a second. You think NBA Youngboy gonna stop talking about murder, gonna stop talking about jail, gonna stop talking about our females, gonna stop talking about crime, gonna stop talking about selling dope and pimping women? You think that they're gonna stop doing that, guys? No. So is that right there the problem? Is that right there the big problem? Is that right there systematic as well? Is that right there 2025, 2020, 2015, 2010, 2000 form of systematic racism? Is there a thing called systematic racism on your own self? Systematically, can you push a narrative of all this music that's being pushed out to destroy your own self? Is there such thing as that? In my opinion, it is. It's called destroying your own community. Charlie Kirk has less of an influence on a certain community destroying itself than anything else. Charlie Kirk was worrying about his own community. He was worrying about building. He's worrying about putting the work in to build stuff for him and his family and teaching the people that rock with him the same exact thing. And yes, he got his own opinion. Yes, he do. But he's not talking about murder, murder, kill, kill. He's not talking about pimping hoes. He's not talking about selling no dope. He's not talking about none of that. He's not talking about bitches ain't nothing but hoes and sluts. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going in today. He's not talking about that, right? He is educating and talking to his own people to build up his own people, and he's building himself. He was building himself at the same time. It's a good thing that we're talking about this, though, because it just points out the systematic mindset of a certain group of people, guys. It just shows you. Every time I listen to certain type of people, I'm like, bro, you're talking about him that absolutely, he's just, speaking his opinion, but he does not have a direct connection with the black community. But an NBA young boy do, a young thug do, and what other rapper, a Lil Durk do, a King Von do, and keep going, keep going, keep going, have major influence on how your kids, my grandkids, and your grandkids turn a Cardi B, a Megan Thee Stallion. They have a direct, a connect and a direct influence on how our kids and grandkids be. They have more of an influence than Charlie Kirk. So I don't understand. I don't understand what they're talking about. It's just that right there. It's just to keep you blinded, guys. You know, that right there is to keep you blinded. We can't focus on that. Can't focus on, because it's all lies, guys. It's all lies, right? So we got to focus on is building, right? We got to focus on building. We have to focus on taking care of your kids. If you are young, right? Focus on your education. Focus on finding something you love to do and mastering it. And if you do get a female or girl pregnant, be responsible, right? Be responsible and build that relationship up where y'all can get married, right? And build y'all foundation. And then stay in your own lane and mind your own business. And build. That's how you become successful in America. It's hard to be successful if you got 10 different baby mamas and you got 10 kids. Hard. It's easy to be successful if you and that girl is together. Both of y'all are getting the education. Both of y'all are finding something that y'all love to do and try to master it. And if y'all do have the kids, there's no other kids outside of the marriage. It's just y'all two. That's how you build, guys. That's how you become successful. So if you get anything out of Charlie, get that. One man, one woman, 2 kids, building, turning point. Started with 0, an 18-year-old in a dream, guys. An 18-year-old in a dream. He wasn't worrying about nothing negative. He was staying in his own lane, and he was minding his own business, and he was focused on building, connecting with the kids for the betterment of America, guys. That's what he was about. And he had his own opinions, or whatever the case may be. See, so many times, bro, so many people are in their feelings, guys, about what they say, what they think. That's what America is built on, the freedom of speech. Whatever I think, that's what I think, right? And then people will take your words. That's why you can't be so quick to believe everything, guys. People will take your words and switch it up. Take a clip here, take a clip there, and make it seem like something that is really not. And then we as a people don't listen to the whole context on the whole thing and really think it out and really think and understand where a person is coming from. We can't do that because we're so focused on emotions, that you're so emotional that you don't want to understand where the guy is coming from, guys. You don't want to understand that. But what's right in front of your face is that the same people that's pushing all this negative stuff about him ain't saying anything about NBA Youngboy. Ain't saying anything about Young Thug. They're not saying anything about King Von. They're not saying anything about telling the youngsters, look, quit having all these kids by different women. They're not saying anything to Cardi B about promoting stripping. They're not saying anything about Megan Thee Stallion that's talking about promoting stripping. They're not saying anything about that, guys. They're not talking about none of that. All they're trying to do is they're acting emotional about somebody else, which in America in 2025, right? All you got to do is go to school, find something you love to do, go to school for it, master it. Don't mess with a whole lot of different women. Focus on what's supposed to be focused on, which is an education, making a living, making investments, making an earn. Get your bank account together. Then focus on everything else. It's called putting your priorities in order, guys. In 2025, nobody can get in your way, bro. Nobody can get in your way. Nobody can only you can stop you in 2025, guys. Don't let nobody take you off the course. Don't let nobody take you off of the course. Keep it simple. Because see, they got all kind of things that they throwing at us these days to try to keep us off of the course. Keep it simple. Make a earn. Find something you love to do and master it. Spend less and make proper investments. That right there. Find somebody that you love, a female. If you have a baby by that girl, marry her. Get out your feelings and hang in there. You know, if you're young and maybe y'all ain't seeing eye to eye, don't worry. You know, just stick it out until y'all mature. But see, once y'all have the foundation of, okay, we got to worry about our kid and we both want to be in our kid's life, right? We both want to be in our kid's life. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start right there and we're going to work around that. Everything focus on the kid and work around that. And teach the kid right from wrong. Give the kid a good foundation. And then mature a little bit. And then you'll get a little bit more mature. Be faithful to that man. Be faithful to that woman. No matter how you look at it. Because the common goal is to build something for you and your grandkids. So once you have a baby by somebody, automatically the focus is off your feelings and it's straight to that kid. Better your life. Better her life. Better that kid's life. And then teach that kid something and give that kid the same foundation, guys. That's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about. God, family, then country. That's what it's about, guys. It ain't about nothing else. It ain't about who hates who. It ain't about who this, that, and the third. It's not about none of that. It's not. Focus on not having 4 or 5 different kids by 4 or 5 different men or women or vice versa, whatever the case may be. That is called division. Divide and conquer. You can't have nothing if you got 10 different baby mamas and 10 different baby daddies. What can you have in life? You can't. It's very, very hard to get anything now. So we got to think about those kind of things, guys. We got to think about them. Don't let them think that you can be the dad. You can, if you have a kid, that it's all right if you raising your kid from the sideline. No. That's what we don't want. We don't want to raise our kids from the sideline, guys. You know, you want to be in the house with your kid every single night. And see, that's another thing that they ain't talking about, guys. You know, they want to talk about this, that, and the third, but they don't want to talk about single parents. They don't want the guys to be like, hey, look. I'm not going to live in a different household than my kid, bro. I'm not doing that. They want you to think it's okay for your kid to live somewhere else and you live somewhere else and all you do is buy your kid some Jordans and take them to the park every now and then or take them to the Texans game every now and then take them back home. That's what they want, guys. That's what they're not talking about. Man, look, if you are mature enough to get that girl pregnant, then you need to be a man and stay there and stick it out. Like they used to do back in the game. Stick it out. Otherwise, if you think about it before you do it, if you ain't mature enough to understand that, hey, if something happened, then I have to be here forever. If you ain't mature enough to understand that, then maybe you stop being so thirsty. That's what we got to think about. In other words, we got to play chess. Because this is chess, not checkers. You got to think before you do things. Don't lay down with a woman or a man if you don't plan on being with them. It starts right there. It starts the way you think, right? If you don't want to go to jail, don't break the law. Go to school. In 2025, it's unlimited opportunity. It's unlimited. You just have to stay focused. You have to stay in your own lane and mind your own business and stay focused on making an earn, spending less, and making proper investments. But the thing is, guys, it's rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, because it let us understand. It's a lot of talk about Charlie Kirk. It let us understand. All you gotta do is listen and pay attention and let you know the direction of America that America is going, guys. All you gotta do is listen and pay attention. It'll let all of us know the direction of America. What side of America do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side of America that is not holding nobody accountable? Okay, you're supposed to hold your own, worry about your own house. Hold your own people accountable instead of worrying about somebody else. Hello. Hold your own people accountable, not nobody else. Instead of you talking about Charlie Kirk and what he believed and try to twist it up, what about NBA YoungBoy? What about Young Thug? What about Rick Ross? What about Lil Boosie? What about that? I don't hear none of them talking about that. I don't hear none of them talking about that. NBA YoungBoy right now, every show sold out all around this country. And you know what he's talking about on the stage. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's calling that hate. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's calling NBA YoungBoy concerts hate on our own selves. Nobody's talking about that, guys. At all. And there's something funny about that. It's something funny about that. We got to think about that. It's something funny about that. Why nobody's boycotting NBA YoungBoy? That's something to think about, guys. Why nobody's boycotting Megan Thee Stallion or Sexy Red? I can go on and on. They're going to be playing Sexy Red Ski Eat tonight at the football game. Ski Eat. Listen to the lyrics of that song. It's negative, talking down, turning our females into hoes and sluts. The NBA YoungBoys turning our kids into dope dealers, murderers, disrespected parents, all the above. Why nobody's calling them hate? That's the question. So, what do I think about Charlie Kirk? This is what I think about Charlie Kirk. Family man. Loved the country. God-fearing man. About his people. Trying to teach his people about what to be and what not to be. That's what he's talking about on those universities. He's talking to his people specifically and trying to teach them what to be and, more importantly, what not to be. He got his own opinion as an American. He has 2 kids by 1 woman. He was building something since he was 18 years old. He's a builder. That's what I think about Charlie Kirk. So as we watch these videos, don't pay attention to the negative rhetoric. Pay attention to what's positive and what you can take out of it and what you can emulate into what you think and what you can put down to make your family and your situation better. Just think if you're 18 years old and you got a newborn kid and you feeling some type of way, I don't want to be responsible. You got to pull pull up your pants and be a man and tell that woman, look, we gonna be together for our kid and we gonna build from right here, right now. And find something you love to do. Charlie Kirk started from zero, didn't know anything. He loved America. He loved talking to the kids. He loved building and socializing with other people. That's what he loved. And he built on that, and built on that, and built on that, and built on that. And yes, once you get like that, it's gonna be haters. But guess what? You find something you love to do, you master it. You make an earn, you spend less, you make proper investments, you teach it to your kids, you teach it to your grandkids. Go out doing what you want to do. That's what freedom is all about. Freedom ain't just about freedom of speech. Freedom is about living a life on your terms. Find something you love to do, master it, and teach it to other people. That's what I think about Charlie Kirk. I don't agree with a lot of things that he say, but guess what? He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to his people. That's who he was talking to. And guess what he did? He loved doing what he did. He mastered his craft, and he taught it to his people. That's what he did. That's what I get out of Charlie Kirk. That's what I get out of this. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. I answered the question to the best of my ability. Don't worry about the bullshit in the bubble gum. Stay in your own lane and you mind your own business. Don't worry about the negative thoughts. Focus on you and your family. Focus on where you want to go. Focus on building. Don't focus on no negative content. Focus on building. And with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. This is the one and only Stock Sniper. To the next one, I'm out.